Since starting this channel in May of 2019, I've received literally dozens of emails that all kind of say the same thing. They go something like this: Dear James, thanks for the videos. I used to love scuba diving, but on my last dive I had a bit of a scare and I gave up the sport. Many years have passed since that incident and I'm starting to think about getting back into the sport, but I don't know how. Please help. I got you, people. I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. It is so great to see all of your smiling faces. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? If you're new to our channel, make your next dive on our subscribe button and click that little bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video, because we make content with one simple goal in mind, and that's to help make you a better scuba diver. Like this week's Mouthpiece Monday, for example, where I'm going to be giving you my top tips for getting back into scuba diving after having had a bit of a scare. And I meant what I said in the intro. This really is a popular question that I get asked a lot via email, and I'm making this video as much for me as I am for you guys, because it's a lot easier for me to reply to these emails with the video link. Here you go, watch this. So there you have it. If you're watching it through one of those emails, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you. All right, so for the purposes of this video, we're going to presume exactly that scenario. You had a bit of a diving career, you maybe did your open water, advanced, etc. You went on a dive, it didn't go well, you got put off from the sport, and now a few years have passed and you haven't done any diving, but you're kind of thinking like you might want to get back into it. Well, I've got the tips for you, so let's dive straight in. Tip number one, absolutely without shadow of a doubt, hire a private guide. If it's been a couple of years that you haven't been diving, you're going to want to do a refresher. We're going to make a whole separate video on when you should do a refresher and what you should expect from refresher training. That's a whole separate topic. I normally recommend that if it's been 5 years without a dive, if you've been that long, just do your open water course again. I mean, it's easy enough to do, and you'll be surprised at how much you've forgotten about diving or how much diving has moved on in that 5 years plus. Now, a good dive professional is going to listen to your story. Be open with them, be honest, tell them exactly what happened, what the conditions were like, how you felt, how you reacted, and everything that went wrong on that last dive. And that's not about dredging up bad memories or bad thoughts before you pick the sport back up again. It's about helping your dive professional tailor a program for you and personalize your action plan to get back into the sport. Us dive professionals tend to be pretty empathetic people. We tend to be able to read people really well, and if that person, the dive master or dive guide that you've hired, is worth their money, they will be able to pick dives that are best suited to encourage you back into the sport in a safe and easy way. In either case, if you choose to do the refresher or you choose to do open water, I recommend you get a private instructor. Do it one-to-one, and that way you know your buddy is going to be a dive professional. Tip number two is ease back into the sport safely. I mean, that's common sense, but a lot of people think, oh yeah, well, I did a refresher, now I can get back to doing the 120 foot, 130 foot dives I used to do. Don't do that. Don't put that pressure on yourself. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. There's absolutely no shame. In fact, it's highly commendable to just take that experience all the way back down and just start doing those nice, clear water, warm water, 30-foot reef dives, nice, safe, clean environment. Absolutely highly recommended. Don't expect that if you had a scare and a period of abstinence, you can go back to doing sort of the edgier dives that you were doing beforehand, if that was the case. Take all the experience you had before the incident, put that in a box, put it away somewhere, and start to build a new pyramid of experience. Tip number three is do some kind of incident analysis and then be prepared to train the area that you had a trouble with. This, to me, is common sense. You've got to strengthen your skills. People are always afraid of what they don't understand. So learn. Get a dive professional on his side. It doesn't have to be a formal course. You guys know how I feel about silly specialty courses. If you don't, you want to check that video out up above there. But just think about, okay, well, I had this problem. This was the underlying cause of it, so I need to improve this skill. For example, I got lost on the dive. I got turned around. Okay, I need to work on my navigation. I lost my buddy. Okay, I need to work on my team building skills. Excellent. I got blown off the dive. Okay, I need more experience drift diving or learning how to drift dive safely. You ran out of air. maybe diving isn't for you. If you don't train to manage risk and prevent accidents, then you're basically just encouraging a recurrence. Tip number 4 kind of pairs with tip number 2, and that's dive conservatively. So yes, pick dives that are easy, but then also dive conservatively well within your limits on those dives. So make sure you're getting back to the boat or the shore with tons of gas left, way more than the minimum limit, well inside your NDL, and just take all that pressure off yourself again. So you just get some easy wins. Sometimes when a team's downbeaten, just an easy win just sets the ship right again. So start clocking those dives where you're coming back, you've got tons of gas left, tons of NDL time left, and it's really that sort of baby step. There's no need to be pushing your limits when you're trying to get back into the sport after a scare. I mean, think about it. The chances are that when you had your "I should have worn my brown wetsuit" moment, you were probably somewhere close to your limit. Is that fair? Yeah, I thought so. Tip number 5 is log your dives. You're back, baby. You completed your first dive. You got back on the horse that threw you off. Congratulations. That's a huge achievement, and you should absolutely pat yourself on the back for picking up the pieces of your diving career and getting back into the sport after a scare. A lot of people don't take that step, so that deserves recognition. One of the best things you can do is log your dives. Start again, like I said, turn the page, start building a new pyramid of experience right on that bottom rung there, and this is dive 1. What? Dive 1? I did 50 dives before I had that accident. Doesn't that count for something? Well, yes, it does. But now you're building your experience back up. There is no shame in this. Own it. I am proud of you. I am absolutely proud of you for taking this step. It is not easy. You faced your fears. Now log that dive, number 1, and embrace starting over. And guys, this is one of those opportunities where we as a Divers Ready community can get together and share our experiences and help other people heal. So in the comment section below, let me know, did you have a scare while diving? Did it put you off the sport? If so, how did you get over it? I'll go first. I'll pin my comment to the top of the comment section. I'll tell you a story about a close call that I absolutely had. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that if you did have a scare from scuba diving, this is going to help you get back into the sport. And if it does, feel free to give it the old like, the old thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give it the dislike button twice. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name's James. This was your Mouthpiece Monday for this week from Divers Ready. Dive safe, dive often.